If you've ever been in a relationship where the love suddenly just disappears, turns around, well, today we're going to look at a song that evokes a strong emotion out of me. It might do the same for you.
And in her eyes, you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears.
Hold for the intro. Hey, what's going on? I'm Jeron Music, independent artist based here in the New York City area. On this channel, I like to do all things music, and I like to implement my originals, cover versions, some educational things, some reactions. So subscribe, hit the notification bell. You'll be the first to know when I do content that you enjoy. So today, we're going to go right into it. This song is one that I hold near and dear to my heart. It's by the Beatles. I'm a huge Beatles fan. It is called For No One. I have the lyrics up here on the screen for you. And we're going to dive right in, and I'm going to deconstruct a little bit of the emotions, the things I feel from the chords and the lyrics. So let's dive in.
Your day breaks, your mind aches. You find that all the words of kindness linger on when she no longer needs you.
Oh yeah. So what'd you think so far? All right. Your day breaks, your mind aches. You find that all her words of kindness linger on when she no longer needs you. I mean, right out of the gate. The character, we're going to just assume it's a male, that this is a man-woman type song, but it doesn't have to be. It's a realization, but your day breaks, your mind aches. You find that all her words of kindness linger on when she no longer needs you. So obviously there's something going on, a turn in the feelings and the emotions. Let's look at the second half of this verse, and then we'll connect it together.
She wakes up, she makes up. She takes her time and doesn't feel she has to hurry. She no longer needs you.
All right, so we're getting a bit more there in the story. She wakes up, she makes up, okay? So we're getting maybe a time of day. She takes her time and doesn't feel she has to hurry. To me, and again, this is all my opinion. I want to hear what you think down in the comments. She has a nonchalant attitude to her. She no longer needs you. Again, this is now the writer wants us to know when she no longer needs you, she no longer needs you, really driving that point home. So we're really dealing with a melancholy song here, a melancholy theme. These are themes that I'm usually attracted to because I think they have a lot of emotional weight to them. And of course, the chords here are gorgeous. This descending pattern. There's a pensive quality to it. And here's the best part after this, the B section. Let's take a look at it.
And in her eyes, you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears cried for no one. A love that should have lasted years.
And we're going to talk about those last two chords a little later on. And in her eyes, you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears. Kind of the thing we were suspecting all along in this song, that the writer was going to tell, without even having to tell us, but now it's cemented, it's here. In her eyes, you see nothing, no sign of love behind the tears. Cried for no one, which is the title song, For No One, a love that should have lasted years. So at this point of the song, and again, for me, my opinion, how you interpret it is the way you interpret it, and I do want to hear that too. At this point, again, I'm thinking it's the man and the woman, obviously this woman who has changed her feelings towards said man, but the way McCartney writes these words, it makes me start to think that this is an outsider kind of looking into this relationship. You know, lines like, I love that should have lasted years. You know, unless the man was super confident, the character, that this was a love that was going to last years, maybe someone from afar sees this relationship as having promise, but then changing. And I think that's really cool, that there's potentially another perspective here other than the main character. All right, let's move on to the next verse.
You want her, you need her, and yet you don't believe her when she says her love is dead, you think she needs you.
Wow. I feel like with each passing verse, it gets scathing and scathing. Of course, I've heard this song 1,000,000 times, but I have this cool ability, at least for me. I'm able to kind of reset my mind to a degree and immerse myself in the song like it's the first time I've ever heard it, because especially the songs that I hold near and dear to my heart, I can do that because, you know, as I grow older, I have obviously heard this song, been listening to this song since I was a teenager, but as I get older, into my 20s, 30s, middle age, I can see it from different points of view. That's what life experience does. So you, hopefully, adult viewers watching, non-musicians of different ages, can see it and have different perspectives in your own life experience kind of influences. Some of you might not, you know, feel anything towards the song, and that's okay too. Time out. If you're enjoying this content and you want to go beyond just being a casual viewer, subscriber, or follower, well, then I got something for you. I encourage you to head on over to my Patreon page where you can become a true fan and or supporter of my music journey, my content creation, and growing this channel and other platforms. There you can choose from any tier, each having its own exclusive perks and benefits. Your support there as a patron helps me further build a community and keeps me motivated and able to create more content and music for you. I'll put a link in the description or on screen. All right, now back to our program. You want her, you need her, and yet you don't believe her when she says her love is dead. You think she needs you. So to me, this suggests, again, that perspective that it could be an outsider, but there's also the possibility it could be the male character, talking to himself in his head. You want her, you need her, and yet you don't believe her when she says her love is dead. You think she needs you. Which then he kind of, being someone that really doesn't pick up on cues that she's been kind of dropping as we're being told the story, and believing that she needs him. And again, that's the beauty of songwriting. We're not going to get the full picture with things. You know, this isn't poetry. This isn't a short form story. These are lyrics, and they give us a journey, and then it's us to interpret it and fill in the blanks. At least that's how I look at it for certain songs. Let's look at the next section.
And in her eyes, you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears, cried for no one. A love that should have lasted years.
So again, we come back to that B section. It's really the same words again. He's just driving that point home as the story evolves through the verses. I like that very much. And then hearing that shift from that major key to that minor chord there from... Now I want to talk about this chord at the end of the B section chord progression. So it's... In music, without getting too theoretical and technical, this is called a suspended chord. There's no resolution to it. It just wants to resolve. But it creates that tension to resolve. But really, this song is all about tension. There seems to be no resolution. All right, let's look at the last verse.
You stay home, she goes out. She says that long ago she knew someone, but now he's gone, she doesn't need him. Your day breaks, your mind aches. There will be times when all the things she said will fill your head. You won't forget her.
Oh man, to me, the third verse really, what it's intended to do, it drives it home. A lot of music nowadays, in my opinion, they really focus so much on the hooks and the choruses and the refrains, and even now post-choruses, but we've lost the concept of pre-choruses sometimes. Definitely bridges and guitar solos are out. More on that in another video. But to me, verses 1, 2, and 3, often I see a good strong first verse. You know, the second verse never feels as strong as the first, but I think it should continue the story. And a third verse is a great opportunity to just kind of put a bow on everything. But I see oftentimes that's not the case, but I think McCartney really just cements this. You stay home, she goes out. I mean, painting even more a visual, because remember at the beginning, the first verse was your day breaks, your mind aches. You find that all her words, she wakes up, she makes up. It's the daytime. But now McCartney has kind of taken us through a day of this kind of back and forth pensiveness that the character is going through. So you stay home, she goes out. My thought is this third perspective, that it's maybe not the male, it's someone from the outside looking in. But you stay home, she goes out. She says that long ago she knew someone, but now he's gone, she doesn't need him. Ooh, so what do you make of that? Drop in the comments. The person that she's with, this partner, may or may not be fulfilling her needs. And she knew someone. It suggests something else, another relationship, but doesn't need him anymore. Your day breaks, your mind aches. There will be times when all the things she said will fill your head. You won't forget her. Ooh. So up to this point, I'm led to believe that there's tension, they're together, but now you won't forget her. Is it gone? Is it over? Is this all just a thought after the fact? And then it goes right up again into the chorus.
And in her eyes, you see nothing. No sign of love behind the tears, cried for no one. A love that should have lasted years.
And that's how the song ends, with that suspended chord, and it resolves. Played by the French horn, that note, and it's cool, very cool. I encourage you to listen to the original recording. So, what did you think? Let me know. Drop in the comments. Do you think that this song is a real sad song? Is it depressing? Do you relate to it? Have you heard of someone else that's gone through this? You know, this is an art form. Songwriting, songs, lyrics, music, and it's important for us to see how it can evoke our emotions, not necessarily bend them in a bad way, but interpret it, process it, try to see the perspective of these characters, other people's in our lives, maybe our own. Once again, I'm Jeron Music. Please hit on my face, not this one, the one above, so you could subscribe, and that would really help me out. Like, comment, share, all of the above. Check out some of these playlists over here where I have more covers, originals, music content that I think you'll enjoy. Have a good one.